So you want to grow a demon back, look like Toji, and whether you're working on a one-arm pull-up or your very first pull-up, make sure you're not making the 3 worst mistakes holding you back from building a bigger back, lats, traps, all that. Let's get into it. Now, first off, we must have a good understanding of the different muscles in the back. First, we have our lats, which we mainly train through vertical pulling exercises and horizontal pulling exercises where our arms are tucked to the side of our bodies. Second, we have the traps and rhomboids, also considered the mid-back, which we mainly train through horizontal pulling exercises with elbows flared or exercises that focus on scapular retraction and protraction. Thirdly, and not necessarily a part of the back, but it is definitely associated, the rear delts, which we train with horizontal pulling exercises that limit the movement of our scapula, such as rear delt rows and rear delt flies. And with so many moving parts in the back and so many different exercises to choose from, that is where we have our first big mistake, and that is redundant training. Now, the scary thing about redundant training is sometimes without that knowledge, you don't even know your training is redundant in the first place. But to give you a really easy example, imagine you were training chest. So you decided to do 4x12 barbell incline bench press. Cool. But then you moved on to 4x12 dumbbell incline bench press, and then you finished off with 4x12 incline hammer strength press. You can imagine that all 3 of these exercises are training the upper chest region. And if you were to do all 3 of these exercises back to back in the same workout, this would be a prime example of redundant training, because despite you using various different pieces of equipment, all 3 exercises are going to be biasing the upper chest. So it begs the question whether you really actually need that much volume on one workout. And you can probably understand why redundant training would be suboptimal for maximizing growth, because essentially you're wasting time and effort for just excessive volume in one specific area. Now, I use chest as an example because it's easy to understand, but when it comes to back training redundancy, it's not as simple as just changing the incline of a bench. So here's the cheat sheet to avoid redundant training for your back.
First, the upper lats are biased when you're pulling with your elbows tucked to the side of your body. This can apply for a row as well as a closer grip pull down and even a lat pullover, since the name of the game here is pulling in your sagittal plane.
In comparison, the lower lats are biased on vertical pulling exercises where you're pulling with a wide grip so that you're pulling in your frontal plane. Examples of this would be a wide grip lat pull down or some sort of diverging or converging lat pull down. Now, when it comes to the mid-back is biased when you're doing horizontal pulling exercises with your elbows flared and there's an emphasis on scapular retraction and protraction. Examples of this would be a wide grip, chest-supported T-bar row, reverse pec deck flies with scapular retraction and protraction, or even a lat pull down where you're leaning back far enough and you're pinching your shoulder blades back together. You see, the key thing with the mid-back is all about that scapular retraction, pinching those shoulder blades. In comparison, rear delt exercises are biased on horizontal pulling exercises where you limit scapular retraction and protraction. Instead, you hold the shoulder blades in place. Examples of this would be a chest-supported T-bar row with the diagonal handles where shoulder blades are kept apart. And of course, also a reverse pec deck fly where you limit scapular retraction is also going to be rear delt biasing. Now, knowing this, what we can do on our back day is choose one exercise from each category and combine them into a workout. And that way, you're gonna be avoiding redundancy. But if you wanna make sure that your overall training outside back as well isn't redundant, then I highly recommend you apply to my exclusive one-on-one fitness coaching program where I pretty much help you optimize your workouts and diets in a sustainable yet effective, very effective way. Let's get back to it. So now that we've covered the biggest mistake at the program level, another big mistake that will limit your back gains at the exercise form level would be pulling with too much elbow flexion on compound exercises such as rows and pull down. Real quick, can you tell which one is the correct way to do a proper lat bias lat pull down? If you guess A, then you're correct. If you guess B, this might be the reason why you're feeling it more in your biceps and forearms than your actual lats. My advice is instead of focusing on whatever object you're pulling, whether it be getting your chin above the bar to touch chest, instead you should focus on what your elbows are doing on a lat and rear delt biased exercise. This means you should always aim to get your elbows to reach the side of your body, no matter if you're doing a row or if you're doing a pull down. And then when it comes to the mid-back, you want to focus on what your shoulder blades are doing. Ideally, you want your shoulder blades to retract or pinch your shoulder blades together on the concentric, and then protract your shoulder blades or let them spread apart on the eccentric. Another thing is, if you feel like your arms are doing more work than your back, is avoid using a super close grip attachment on your compound exercises. Now, I define close grip as any attachment that is narrower than shoulder width. This guy right here being the biggest culprit by far. And this is because a close grip will accentuate elbow flexion. This kind of action happening where you're ending up bending more of your elbows. And the last big mistake that you want to avoid if you want to maximize back growth is choosing unstable exercises when stable options are available. It's admittedly a little bit of a controversial take. I'm not saying that you can't grow your back with these exercises, but if the only back exercises you're doing are bent over variations of whatever kind of rows, or something weird like a non-knee supported lat pull down, then I would encourage you to do some more exercises that are more stable. For example, instead of bent over barbell rows, I encourage you to do some sort of chest supported T-bar row where you're in a much more stable position. You don't have to worry about being hunched over and staying in this position. And of course, with the lat pull down one, it's very simple. You just use the machine as intended. There's no reason to be doing a non-knee supported lat pull down. With that said, that pretty much covers everything. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope it helps you on your journey in developing a demon back. And all you have to do for that, to show your gratitude towards me, is smash the like button. So hit subscribe if you want to see more videos to level up your physique. Hit the bell to get these videos right to you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.